But realize that you are not your experiences, unless you choose to make them a part of your identity. So I truly hope that the message I'm sharing inspires and motivates you to improve your life. Now let's get to the point. Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of ToDaPointPodcast. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Today I want to get straight into the video. The thing is that lately I realize more and more that the past is the past for a reason. But some experiences are still a part of my life. And what I mean by that is some experiences that changed me in a negative way. Let's say I'm more fearful or more closed off. On the other hand, some experiences have contributed to by adding positivity into my life. I'm more persistent and more grateful. And as I'm saying this, I realize that the only truth we experience is the truth we accept. No matter what it is you are experiencing or you have experienced, you are giving meaning to it. Things are basically not right or wrong. They only have the meaning we attribute to them. An example is like someone going through an adversity, a horrific situation, and some way or another they manage to turn that situation into something positive. Let's say like starting a business and becoming very successful, right? After experiencing something very traumatic. On the other hand, another person going through the same experience breaks down, loses their mind, and changes the whole trajectory of their life in a negative way. It's all a matter of perspective. Not to say that you shouldn't feel those negative emotions if you go into something that has a huge impact on you, but realize that you are not your experiences, unless you choose to make them a part of your identity. And it sounds easier said than done, I know, because we all have this ego always in fight mode, right? The ego wants to keep existing, so it tries to hold on to our pain in order to try to stay around. That's why whenever we're trying to change something, we feel this resistance because the ego doesn't want to disappear, right? If you want to start living healthy, going to the gym more often, oftentimes you have this experience of resistance because your ego is afraid that you're going to change into a better version of yourself. That means that ego will dissolve eventually. The only way to make the journey, let's say living a healthier lifestyle, is to start identifying fully with the person we want to become. That way it becomes easier to achieve a certain goal. If you've ever taken shrooms or any other type of psychedelics, you might have experienced the phenomenon called ego death. By the way, this is not a video about encouraging people to use drugs of any type whatsoever. I was going through a hard time and I had some traumatic stuff I had to face, and I decided to take some psilocybin in order to face those situations from a different perspective. And I remember clearly, man, when that thing started working, I could literally feel my identity dissolve. It was scary, but it was beautiful at the same time. Tears started running down my face and I was crying, but I wasn't crying because I was sad or happy. I was just crying because I just was. And this is something that you can never ever really fully explain to someone if they've never experienced it themselves. Again, not to encourage anyone to do that, but this was one of the most beautiful experiences I've ever had. Unfortunately, it lasted for a short while because the majority of us just goes back to our daily routine and kind of forget about it, but you will never ever completely forget about it. Anyway, my point of sharing this with you is the ego death is something that is beautiful and scary at the same time. It basically gives you this feeling that you are becoming one with everything and you just are. And that's all, that's more than enough. While going through our daily routines, we always feel pressure or certain type of emotions that give us the feeling of being under pressure. But when you experience this, it's something very extraordinary. It's a beautiful experience. As I was saying before, the only truth we experience is the truth we accept. Whatever you believe about something will eventually become your reality. The past weeks I've been reading books about esoterics, and this book by Neville Goddard called The Power of Awareness. Not an easy read, but definitely worth it. In this book he talks about how the subconscious mind listens to anything you say to it, even in a joking way, right? So whatever we think, feel, choose, manifests into our reality. And oftentimes we think that if the outside world changes, that we will start feeling a certain way. Let's say, like you say, when I have $10,000 in my account or $50,000 in my account, I will feel happier, proud, or I will feel like a boss, right? But it's the other way around. Whatever goes on inside will reflect itself back to you on the outside. That's why one of the laws is as within, so without. It starts with having an idea of what we want, and By matching our thoughts, feelings, and choices to what we want, we can start creating a reality. So whatever you feel inside will be shown to you on the outside. That's why they always say it always starts with you. The thing is, we have more power than we think. If we start accepting a certain truth about ourselves or our circumstances, that starts manifesting into our reality or our outer world. So this book by Neville Goddard, he has many amazing books, but this one I'm reading right now. If you want to learn more about it, I will put a link in the description where you can get it. I'm not being sponsored or whatsoever. I just believe that this is one of the books everyone should read at least once in their lifetime, even though sometimes the things being written are not easy read. So you might want to take your time on this or read it more than once. Anyway, these are some thoughts I wanted to share with you. Be aware of the fact that the only truth you experience is the truth you accept. You're always one decision away to change your life. Not that it's always going to be easy, but I always say that difficult does not mean impossible, right? So yeah, anyway, that was the video for today. If you found value, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section, and tell me if you've experienced changing your inside world and how it got reflected back to you on the outside. Alright, thank you for watching, and as usual, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.